Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to another edition of Dr. Tartt Live. I am excited about being with you all today. I'm excited, y'all. So come on in. Glad to see you all wherever you're tuning in from. I appreciate you spending your Monday, Wednesdays, and your Fridays with me. My name is Dr. Aldewan Tartt, clinical Christian psychologist. I'm here to be able to be a mental health resource for you when it comes to relationships, when it comes to family, when it comes to just feeling good. So I see y'all coming in. I see y'all checking in. I see you, Chico. I see you, Mecca. I see you, Rachel. I see y'all coming in. All right. So today, listen, I know it's Friday, depending on when you're watching this. And we're feeling good. All right. But I want to make sure that you feel good going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right. So come on in, get your questions ready, whatever you're going through right now. Now, y'all know this is not psychological. Let me move this out the way. This is not, I'm not your personal psychologist. So whatever advice I give you, realize this is psychoeducation, y'all. This is psychoeducation. All right. So what that means is that I'm going to give you real things that work, but do not consider this like your personal care. Y'all know that. You're like, we know that, Doc. We know that. All right. So anyway, let's dive in. All right. Yeah. People say I don't have any openings till March. That is true. All right, because it's been packed. But March is just 2 months away. You get that appointment, you'll be good. All right. So I see you, Christopher. I see you, Val. I see y'all. I see you, Daryl. All right. So let's dive in. I want to talk, so I know your time is valuable, right? I want to talk to you about how to feel better in 30 minutes. There we go. How to feel better in 30 minutes. I mean, like 30 minutes. What if I told you you can feel better in 30 minutes? I see you, George. Talking about how do you stay out them streets. All right. That's a whole nother topic. You funny. Actually, probably could answer that one. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about five. Let's talk about how to feel better in 30 minutes. All right. Now, anyone in fitness knows this, y'all, but I want to be real because I want to make sure this is clear. All right. Um, Exercise is the answer. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down 5 benefits to actually exercising and what it has to do with your mental health, right? But I'm going to do it in a different way because a lot of times you hear people say you should just exercise for a better body and a better mind, but they don't tell you like how or why or how to actually do it because the research is so strong on this that I think by the time we're done with this live, you're at least going to strongly consider working out. It's going to affirm why you work out. Are you going to no longer feel like you don't have any options in how to feel good, even if your life is complete and utter mess right now? All right. So, number one, do you know that exercising for just 30 minutes produces five chemicals to your brain? Let's break them down. Number one is serotonin. What is serotonin? Serotonin is a mood boosting brain chemical. All right. So it boosts your mood. All right. So if you've ever been depressed and been prescribed medications, one of the type medications they may prescribe is an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. You don't care about any of that. Basically, it gives you more serotonin in your body, in your brain, so that you can feel better. So that you can feel better. When you exercise, the sweat tells your body to produce mood boosting brain chemicals called serotonin. So you need to work up to a sweat. You at least need to get a good, as they say, a good lather going, right? You can't just be up in there walking. I see people in Planet Fitness, they on the phone, they going so slowly on the elliptical, on the cycle machine. You can't even get exercise. Now I'm not saying go out there and kill yourself, but you should be rolling. You should be, at least doing something moderate that breaks a light to medium, maybe even intense sweat, right? It's going to give you, so you want to feel good right now. Serotonin. So y'all think people are in the gym just to be vain. They're not. People in the gym because they want to live, because they want to feel better, because stress is so high in their life right now. This is the only thing keeping them sane. All right. All right. So one, um, serotonin. All right. Number two, norepinephrine. Norepinephrine. If y'all can drop that in the chat, right? Someone look up, Google how to spell that. Norepinephrine. Norepinephrine. What is norepinephrine? Norepinephrine flows into your bloodstream during exercise, and it makes you more alert and focused. All right, I see y'all comments coming through. More alert and focused. Some of y'all say, I can't focus and concentrate. I have ADD. I get distracted. Guess what? You're not exercising on a regular basis. Norepinephrine boosts memory retrieval. A lot of what's going on with our kids in school is that they're not exercising, so they don't have the best and optimal brain. They don't have the best brain. So if you don't have the best brain, how can you recall memory? I can tell y'all this. I know I'm paying some a boatload of money for my oldest daughter to take SAT prep because we're trying to get that money to these schools she wants to go to. I'm gonna need George's money on. I'm gonna need your money, brother, Dr. Crawford. She wants to go to Vanderbilt and UCLA and Stanford and USC. I finally got her to put Howard on the list to get an HBCU, but all of them cost a grip of money, right? She gonna be exercising for that SAT prep class. I'm just being honest. I need you to retain as much information as you possibly can. And so exercise improves focus, attention, the ability to focus and concentrate, right? It allows you to actually avoid distractions. All right. I see you, Shantae. You say absolutely love 5 to 10 minute workouts. I guess those are hit. Are those hit workouts I read about? And started doing those during the pandemic. YouTube is full of fun ones, right? So what Shantae is saying is that I know I need a better brain. If you're gonna go out there, and I can tell you this because my wife is in medical device sales. All right, she's in sales. All right, just in general, but they all look a certain way. Sales reps all look a certain way, right? Especially the higher you go up at the top tier companies, they look a certain way. Why? Because they know they have to compete at the highest level against other people who are going after it. That's why you see people that are crazy about going to the gym 3, 5, 7 times a week, right? Not because they're vain per se, but they're trying to get serotonin and norepinephrine. All right, number three, all right, is BDNF. All right, BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor. All right. Um, and it's described as the most important chemical released during exercise since it fosters long-term brain health, y'all. So this is what I get my older adults, middle-aged adults on. This is how I get them to exercise. If you want to do something to decrease the chances of having Alzheimer's, if you want to do something to decrease the chances of having the memory loss that accompanies getting older in age, all right? Exercise so that your body can get this BDNF in its system. Serves as a growth factor and promotes the formation, I'm reading this, of new connections between nerve cells and neurons. All right. The good news is that exercise increases blood production of BDNF by 3 times. That's 300%, y'all. That's a 3x. So for those of you who have parents, for those of you who have are older adults right now, for those of you that want to maintain your memory, you see yourself reaching for words, you see yourself that recall, you see yourself, or you just want to be proactive and say, I want to be sharp into my older age. Make sure you exercise BDNF. Get your parents moving, taking a walk, exercising, cycling, gardening, whatever the case may be. All right, so that they can preserve their cognitive functioning. Get our grandparents doing this. All right, number four, and I'm gonna take y'all's questions. Dopamine. Dopamine. All right, whenever we're on our social media and we're looking at TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, things are happening. It produces dopamine. It's why we push. It's a reward center. It's like the dopamine is the driving chemical in substance abuse, right? In sex, right? It's why we do it. Is we get rewarded for doing it. Like thinking about it is a reward center. Our brains lighten up thinking about things that are fun. You get that same thing during exercise. All right, so it gives us motivation. All right, some of you are struggling with doing the things that you need to do at work, at school, in your marriage, in life, because you don't have enough motivation. and you say, I'm just unmotivated. All right. Generate that motivation by exercising. You can get dopamine in your system. Now, let me be honest. Without dopamine, you're not going to feel like putting forth the effort to do the things you need to do to make yourself feel good. All right. People who are depressed tend to have low dopamine levels. Right. So we know, I said, 30 minutes of exercise is going to actually help you. All right. The fact that exercise boosts the release of dopamine and serotonin partially explains why natural mood lifter exercise is a natural mood lifter. You ever heard people say exercise is an antidepressant, or exercise is a poor man and poor woman's antidepressant? It's not so poor. It's actually real, y'all. It's actually real. I mean, did y'all know this? I mean, drop this in the chat. Did you know that exercise was this important? Right? All right. And so, yeah, so get that in your body. All right. Here's number five, y'all. Y'all really want to feel good. All right. Endorphins. Endorphins are the feel good chemicals. The pain relievers, right? Endorphins. All right. You ever heard people say runner's high? What they're talking about is endorphins. So when you exercise, your body produces endorphins, which automatically make you feel better. If you're looking for something to make you feel better right now, you going through stress right now, your husband's tripping right now, your girlfriend's tripping right now, kids are tripping, corporate America, you just got that letter saying you're being laid off. You just saw today that Google's parent company, Alphabet, said they're laying off 12,000 workers. I think last week, Microsoft said that they're laying off 5% of their workforce. I mean, it's coming down the pipeline, y'all. So if you're getting it, you're worried about that, and you need to be in your right mind, y'all exercise to get that endorphin. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to allow you to feel more tranquil. It's going to give you more peace. It's going to allow you to be able to, endorphins help calm fear and anxiety. Right? I don't know why it keeps making me look like that, but fear and anxiety, it's gonna help calm it down. So a lot of you are anxious and afraid. Exercise more. Right after you exercise, you're gonna feel better. All right. Remember, y'all, the brain is plastic. All right. It's not fixed, meaning that it's pliable, meaning that it can change. We can change our brains. If we change our brains, we can change how we feel. We can change how we think. We can change how we behave, y'all. And so if you exercise, you can feel better, y'all, in 30 minutes. All right. That's y'all's Dr. Tartt live for today. Right. So it's why gyms are so popular. Matter of fact, if there's a gym watching this, there's a fitness and wellness company watching this, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I can give them the psychological benefits of exercise. But in all seriousness, y'all, if you're able to exercise, I'll recap. You're gonna produce five chemicals in your brain that's gonna help you feel better. All right. Number one, serotonin. That's gonna mood boost. Two, norepinephrine. It's gonna help you to feel more alert and focused. You're gonna be better at your job. You're gonna be better at your school. You're gonna stay focused. You can stay out the streets. You can have more willpower because you can focus. All right. BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. What is that? Basically, it's gonna improve your memory. All right, it's gonna give you 3x the amount of memory of that's not true. All right, it's gonna give you three times the amount of BDNF, which improves your memory. All right, long term, it's a way for you to avoid dementia, and it's a way to tell your parents and grandparents they need to be working out so that they don't lose their memory while they're pumping that BDNF in their system 3 to 5 to 7 times a week. Dopamine, motivation, reward is gonna help you doing the things you need to do to stay consistent with getting that bag, with getting married, whatever it is, staying focused in school, even though it's boring. That dopamine starting that business. And then the endorphins, the feel good chemicals, the pain relievers, right? I mean, you just been in pain. So you don't need Percocet. You don't need alcohol. You don't need tobacco. You don't need vaping. You don't need hookah. You don't need any of this stuff. And by the way, you vapors, you hookahs, I love y'all. Can I just break it down really quickly? You do know it's the same as smoking a cigarette, if not worse. You do realize that you sucking on nicotine. I know it seems cool in the marketing, seems cool, just vape take stress away. But do you know the heating elements of hookah just the plastic that they make and the materials out of the vaping? It's actually worse than the actual cigarette. You're gonna see the research is coming out now. You're gonna see in 10 to 15, 20 years, you're gonna have more throat cancer. You're gonna have more esophageal cancer. You're gonna have more. It's there. So chill on the hookah. Think, but the heating element, look it up. The heating element to burn those little coals or whatever they are, and then you suck it into the. So not only you get nicotine, but the heating element to heat it up, they say is actually worse than the nicotine. I can't tell you how many people have had cardiovascular issues, including since you went public, my sister-in-law. All right, my oldest sister-in-law. Right. Um, she went look her up on Instagram, Naya Moore. She did a whole live on how she had to have all these heart issues, all these cardiovascular issues out of nowhere. And girl is super in shape from vaping, y'all. So y'all chill on that. Chill on the vaping, chill on the hookah, chill on the cigarettes, chill on the cigars. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to try to keep you alive, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. I know y'all don't know that. You're like, oh, I thought hookah and vaping was better. All right. So make sure that we're exercising, y'all. Right? Because exercise is gonna give you the brain that you need to be able to do what you need. All right. So let me take some questions. If not, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to be here for you all. Today was about exercise. It talked about relationships last time, about 3 things that make relationships work. We're going to talk about anxiety. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about how to date in these streets, right? I'm with it. Whatever topic y'all want, I'm here. As a matter of fact, I'll even next week, I'll commit to doing this, to bringing one of you up, and y'all can say what's going on in your life, and we'll go live and we'll talk about it, right? On whatever platform we're doing it, right? So, just a quick note, I want y'all to go to, if you're on Instagram, go to my bio. I'm doing a grief and loss class next Saturday for anyone dealing with any type of grief and loss, divorce, you lost a job, you lost a loved one, you lost a child, miscarriage, whatever the case may be. I'm doing a grief and loss class for you. So just drop this in my link. And then also, we're having y'all just DM me. I'm gonna tell you things to DM me or send me a direct message. I'll respond. Is we also are having a huge event which I'll promote next week, called the Love Lab Valentine's Day Experience. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like a game night for couples to come out and have fun. It's gonna be elegant. It's gonna be well decorated. It's gonna be in a very nice establishment. So you and your couple, you just come on out and have fun. We're gonna talk about how to make relationships work, but really you're gonna have fun. You're gonna feel good again. What a lot of couples are missing is that the relationship not fun. The marriage not fun. It's not novel. It's not novel. Nobody want to be in a relationship where it's not new and fresh, right? Want something new and fresh, right? So y'all check out the Love Lab experience. You can go to weekendforlove.com. You know what? Let's go to a weekendforlove.com. Let's see if I can actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna drop that link. Y'all know how to do it. A weekendforlove.com. You can get the Love Lab experience before it sells out, and it is gonna sell out. Love Lab sells out. I mean, Weekend for Love sells out all the time. Our retreat sell out all the time. And thank God, it take a lot of work. It took a lot of years where it's always sold out, but it take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes personal financing for it to sell out. But no, it's actually sold out because people know about it. Follow Weekend for Love on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, right? Check out weekendforlove.com if you're looking for a really amazing Valentine's Day date. It's for married couples, couples seriously dating, engaged couples. Come on out. Come on out. Let the married folks show you how to have fun in your relationship. Or if you're grieving, check out that grief class. All right. And then be on the lookout for our monthly enrichment classes for marriage. We had one last night. It had so many people on it. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and couples were blessed. They actually felt better in an hour before Valentine's Day. And I'm gonna release that to you all in the general public, but that was for a private group, which will give you access to. All right. Any questions? Thank you for dropping that. You know, Shelby Rogers. Thank you. All right. Any questions? Drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. All right. Here's a question. All right. My boyfriend is not affectionate. He said he never will be. What to do with that? Oh my goodness. All right. What your boyfriend is probably maybe talking about, let me temper my language. Um, we learn to be affectionate from our parents. All right. And it's actually necessary for you to actually be affectionate with your children, especially your sons, because it creates something called warmth. All right. Warmth is a feeling of love. So think about getting next to a fire and you feel warm. Do you know you can feel emotional warmth? All right. Touch, the power of touch, right, is enough to produce oxytocin. It's why we have sex. We're trying to feel something emotionally. Right? We're trying to feel something emotionally. And so, what does that touch do? It produces oxytocin. So, if you have a boyfriend who's not affectionate, chances are he did not come from an affectionate family. Another option could be his boundaries were violated. Could be sexual abuse. Could be child molestation that's unresolved. So why would he let someone get close to him? Affection to him is contaminated with a boundary violation. It's contaminated with abuse. It's contaminated with molestation. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And so, none of those things were the case, and they just grew up in a household that was very cold, right? Maybe grew up in foster care or in a situation where there was not a loving parent or a group home where they're not loving system. I hate to say our systems are where they need to be, but they can use a lot of improvement. I've worked with foster children for years, and all experiences are not the same. And everyone in the system will tell you it could radically improve. But you don't have to be in foster care to have a cold family. Hello. All right. So if he's not affectionate, have him get counseling for those things. But also don't settle. How you gonna be in a relationship with me and say you're not affectionate? What? Okay. All right. So let's work on you being 5% affectionate. All right. We don't have to go 0 to 100, but you do need 5%. This is you having presence in a relationship, right? In a relationship, you having presence and saying, "I would like for you to hold my hand." He says, "I don't do that." Then you can't be with me. You can't just say you don't do that. You can say, I struggle with that. And can you hold my hand for 3 seconds before you drop it? Can we graduate from 3 to 5 to 10? Can we actually be intimate where you actually have foreplay, where you touch me for 5 minutes versus just trying to get to it to make sex so impersonal? Right? Can you get a brother or sister warmed up? You know what I'm saying? Warmth. Matter of fact, warmth is so important to children and adults is that they can predict how well your son is going to do in school, how well children do, especially boys, based on the amount of warmth they get from their parents. Why? Warmth makes you feel loved. What does warmth do? It translates into self confidence. Guess what self confidence translates to? Raising your hand in school. Right? But when you don't have warmth and you come from an environment that's toxic or unloving or stressful, you don't have self confidence or presence because people have not made you feel important. Touch makes us feel important. Men will tell you, you love me, show me, right? And I hate that's the case. Someone's saying that every single time they push towards affection, they're pushed away. That's not your issue. That's his issue. And I would encourage him to say, "Hey, babe, go get some coaching." We can't say counseling, but go get some coaching, right, with someone to help you work through your affection issues, because he's never going to really settle into being in a long-term relationship without affection. Another thing is to get an animal, right? I can tell you this works with hardened criminals. One of the things, that's such a stigma, because we know about the prison industrial complex. So our brothers and sisters out there who are incarcerated, but who have come from, I'm talking about the worst of circumstances. I'm talking about Orange is the New Black in real life. They actually have equine therapy. Like, what is that? Horses, equestrian, equine, right? Horses, well, they actually put them in charge of horses, y'all. All right. And they bond with the horse. The horse is safe. A modern day example of this, may he rest in soul, is DMX. Talk about bonding with a dog, right? And this happens all the time, right? Cats, whatever, bunnies, I don't care, right? But something, touch, affection. I think that might be a good start to get him a dog. All right, because a lot of people that shy away from human affection will gravitate towards a dog. All right, and then that's a good way to start. And then you translate that to touching yourself. You know what I mean? That sounds weird, but him touching you. right? Holding your hand, rubbing the back of your neck, putting his hand on your knee, opening doors, putting his arm around you. There are a lot of people who struggle with affection simply because they're coming from trauma backgrounds or environments where they were not warm. So they think that it's okay to perpetuate that. All right. So let's just make sure that you just set up the counseling appointment for him, right? And then you just get up and go. All right. Someone says it's another thing to know something, but not be willing to learn is another, right? It's interesting that a lot of people who need relationship counseling, who need mental health counseling, are the most resistant to getting it, right? That makes that, I mean, I guess it makes sense to me, but it's counterintuitive, right? If you need something, go get it. Why would you shy away from something that's going to help you to be better? Right? Don't enable it, right? I would actually pause a lot of relationships until you go work it out. Go fix your sex addiction. Go fix your drug addiction. Go fix that hole inside of you that causes you to go to these addictions to try to feel good. No judgment. But we can't be in a relationship with alcohol if you're using it excessive. We can't be in a relationship. I think y'all saw, who was it? The trial here in Atlanta on Rico with the rapper. They slid him. Who was it? Young, y'all know. I can't remember what was his name. Young somebody. Y'all. Anyway, that shows I'm old. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The one that's on Rico charges in Atlanta. They slipped in the courtroom and gave him a Percocet. Right? My wife said, "How bold is he?" You know what I thought about? How much pain is he in? What kind of withdrawal is he going through? Right? Young Thug. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia or Alicia. I'm not sure. But thank you. Yeah, Young Thug. In the courtroom, they got it on camera when they slid this man a Percocet, y'all. Slid him a Percocet. I didn't even get mad. I didn't say that was bold. I was like, this man is hurting, right? You facing all this time. You having to give up all your partners. And y'all listen, many, many moons ago, I partnered with the Atlanta Police Department and I used to work in Inglewood, right? Because I was on an anti-gang task force, right? Basically, we work with the kids who are in gangs to try to get them out of gangs and give them the services that they need in the mean streets of Kirkwood and the mean streets of Inglewood. So I went from Kirkwood to Inglewood, y'all. All right. And one of the things that we realized was that this everyone snitches. Everyone snitches. The movies, people snitch. Everyone gets snitches because I see what the cops do to get people to snitch. I was in the room like, man, this is not okay. Everyone snitches, man. I'm just being honest. This man has to give up all his contacts. This man has to let me actually not say too much because this real in these streets. Let me back away from that topic. But what I'm saying, that's a lot of stress on their brother. That's a lot of stress on him to have to do all this stuff with the police squeezing him, to keep loyalty to the streets. Which one of his raps are true? They're trying to convict this man based on what he said he did in raps as a confession. Yeah, he needed a Percocet. All right. But you need exercise. You need yoga. You need meditation. You need a massage. You need to get out the stressful environment that you're in. Now, we're joking about Young Thug, and it's not funny because that's someone's son, and I'm from Atlanta, right? He's affected a lot of kids, a lot of kids here. There's a lot of people that believe that stuff to be true and perpetuate it. And gun violence here in Atlanta, Chicago, Chirac, Inglewood is in record numbers. So the city is taking a tough approach towards crime. I don't know if it's going to work, but I get that brother's in a pickle. So let's make sure that we have more effective coping mechanisms than drugs and alcohol, which cause more issue, and definitely better than vaping. All right. Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna take one more and I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna grab lunch, take one more. All right. Uh, yeah. I saw the comment before we're talking about affection in a dog. The young lady is saying that they argue because he gives all his affection to a dog, right? The dog is safer, right? The dog is safer, right, to him. But once you can establish safety, like, look, I'm safer than the dog, and being able to just first pray for him, and then challenge his manhood in a positive way. Say, hey, babe, I believe that you can overcome this. I believe that you have a responsibility to yourself. And I know you love me, a responsibility to me to work on something that's very important to me. right? Very important to me. All right. Can you at least graduate your affection? Can you graduate it? Can you start with hand holding? Can we sit in the movies and you put your arm around me? Can we sit, touch knee to knee? I have y'all laughing about that. I have couples that all the time where they sitting on the couch and they touch knee to knee when they're talking to one another to create some type of oxytocin and some type of connection with one another. All right. So yeah, I thank you for the gift, Roller Girl. I thank you all for the badges. Right. All right. Last question. Oh, this is a good one. Someone said, "Where can we find professional men?" I should make you pay for this advice. I really should. I really should. I really should. All right. So, um, first of all, ask a professional man where you can find him. That's the easiest. I'm gonna make that easy. Ask professional men where they hang out. That's the first. That's the easiest one. Y'all say, "Okay, that's not good. That's not good enough. That's not good enough." Aldewan, give us more. All right. Listen, you have to do the things that men do. All right. I'm gonna put y'all up on game. All right. So, had someone I was consulting with. Right. We're gonna change the story a little bit. And she said, "Where can I meet men?" All right. Let me tell you what she came up with. She's in business. And so she decided to go to a lunch and learn at a university for African American men, a lunch and learn for their business and entrepreneurship series. Now, it's open to the public, but it is specifically for their school, right? And she has a friend who attends and is in the program to get his MBA. Sister Girl sat in a room primarily of men, if we're talking about business, and asked questions. And guess what happened? Men came to her. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and gains favor in the Lord. For this conversation, finds a wife. How findable are you by the professional man? So that's the question that you want to approach you. Where's that professional man? You need to insert yourself in places where he's social. That's called, I'm gonna give y'all a psychology lesson. That's what I'm here for. Right? That's called being pro-social. Pro-social. Pro-social means that you go in a room and you make it happen. You meet people, kind of like what politicians do. All right. So there's antisocial, which means you don't like people and you want to hurt them. A lot of people use antisocial the wrong way, but antisocial is actually a disorder. Like Jeffrey Dahmer means that you're trying to kill people or you're trying to hurt people. You're antisocial. Asocial, which I think y'all mean to use, means I don't really like people or people drain me. Or I don't like being around people a lot. I like people this much, but once we go to this, I'm done with people. That's asocial. Social means that you're out, but you're really more of a watcher. If the action comes to you, you'll take it. You'll go to the game, but you're not talking to your neighbor to your left and your right. Pro-social, you're talking to your left and your right, kissing babies. You're in the room, you work in the room, you're asking people what brings you out. You're networking. That's pro-social. And people who are pro-social are almost always have a lot of friends. Right? Why? They're friendly first. So people are friendly back. What goes around comes around. If you're social, I'm gonna say what's up, but I'm gonna say what's up. You're gonna say what's up. It's gonna be that. If you're asocial, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm gonna respect the fact you don't want anybody sitting next to you on the bus. Right? If you're pro-social, I'm gonna be your friend. Does that make sense? So you have to be pro-social around those places where men that you like might be. I'm gonna give this to men. Um, Men, if you're looking for women and you want to do it organically, and you don't want to use social media, go to places where women are that you could be. A couple of years ago, I spoke for an event at the Super Bowl. It's had to be years ago when it was in Atlanta because I don't think I traveled. Or maybe it was in LA. I can't remember. All right, but it was one of the two places, right? And I went to an event and I spoke at an event called the Soup Her Bowl Awards. Soup Her Bowl Awards. If you ever been to the Super Bowl, they have all these events, all these activations around the Super Bowl, right? That's why it makes so much money. And so they were honoring minority women who had done big things in business with the Soup Her Bowl Awards. Yo, I sat in this room and I love my wife and she's fine, but I'm telling you, the amount of fine women who are making millions and millions of dollars, who were going and getting it, who are ambitious, who were single, that were in that room, I was texting my friends like, bro, I don't know if I can get you access to this event, but you need to follow. I would when they had the, I was like, you need to follow this sister. I was screen shooting, right? This one, this one, this one, this one. So if you're a man, place yourself around women who have business about themselves, right? That could be. Listen, if you're a man, go to join the singles ministry at a large church, a medium to large church. Why? It's gonna be mostly women. You walk in there, you're gonna have your fill of women. I don't know why singles ministry is that way, but do that. All right, ladies, you want to meet a man? Listen, that's about some business, right? And they said professional, right? I'm not saying a professional man is better than a blue collar man. Look, a great man is a great man, right? But the question was, how do I meet a professional man? All right. You need to go to the spots where he goes to network. If you're in Atlanta, Bar Margo. Um, if you're in Atlanta, St. Regis Hotel Bar, you need to be a member of the Commerce Club. No, I'm sorry. Disrespectful. All right. The Commerce Club is second. Number one is the gathering spot. Where if you're in DC, you're in Atlanta, you're in LA. I think those are the four. If I miss one, sorry, Ryan, the owner, who's Morehouse grad here in Atlanta. You need to be part of the Commerce. You need to be part of the Commerce Club is cool too, y'all. That's why I keep saying it. But you need to be part of the gathering spot, right? That professional men are going to be there. You need to be a part of Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. You need to be part of the Black MBA here in Atlanta. Any place where professional men are going to go and network, anything about real estate, anything about politics. There's some high end stuff in Atlanta. If you know about the Thompson Hotel, but that's pay to play to get in that. It's like, I think it's 5K, something like that. I got that from a friend, right? To be a part of that. But that's worth it if you're trying to network with high network individuals. Right. If you're looking for blue collar, any man, but let's just say, all right, let's keep it off professional. You need to be in a sports bar. This Saturday is the NFL playoffs. Saturday and Sunday, men are gonna watch the game. They're gonna watch the game at a sports bar. If you're cute doing a commercial in between wings, they're gonna ask you what's your name and your sign, what's your number, what's your phone number. You see what I'm saying? I see someone said, what about in Houston? In Houston, there's a lot of brothers, right? By anything, National Sales Network is in almost every city. National Sales Networks, guess what that is? Organization for sales reps. Guess who? Most sales reps tend to be men. Guess what most sales reps are? Attractive, well-spoken, nice body, men and women, but most of men. You just show up to a National Sales Network event. You're like, why should I go? Because you're interested. And you can show up and have business about yourself. I was at the Super Bowl awards. I'm a man, but I'm about that money. When one of the ladies walked across that stage and said she made 1 million plus doing stuff online with relationships, you think I wasn't paying attention? Yeah, I was. I was. And later this year, she's gonna be my coach. It's keeping it real. All right. So it's being open, right? And so if I can bring the spiritual piece in this, if God has told you that He has dates out there for you, if He has relationships for you, why wouldn't you position yourself? Thank you, Scorpio. Why wouldn't you position yourself to allow this to happen organically, socially? Even on LinkedIn, they have events, right? Like, okay, look at LinkedIn events, Eventbrite events. Be there. Meetup.com is another one. Meetup.com allows you to meet up around affinity groups. So affinity groups are things we have in common. We've all read murder mysteries. We like reggae music. We do Bible study. It has all these meetup groups. We work out. We like CrossFit. It has all these affinity groups for you to meet up in your city, and then you just naturally socialize. All right. That information was worth money, right? And when I bring back with my wife the ringformula.com, we're going to bring that back hopefully in February. Hopefully in February, y'all, to help single women to be able to date better, to move towards engagement and marriage. All right. It's probably the best program out there. We just don't offer it that much because we're so busy. But I'm going to offer it out there because people get in that program and they get straight married. I'm just being honest. right? Let God do what he does. Because once you get social and you know where to go, that's 75% of it. The rest is you with chemistry and anyway. So y'all got it? Any questions? Hey, listen, y'all. I love y'all. I love doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've cleared my schedule. Why? God said, be more for the people. Whatever you do for the least of these, you've done for me. And so that what that basically means is that what you've done for my people, that's what least meant. What have you done for my people, no matter what their status, you've done it for me. All right. And so I want to make sure that you all feel blessed, that you have the resources that you need. Today was about exercise, and I'm excited. All right. All right. So all right. The person that says they need a session, you know how to get at me. You know how to contact me. All right. Let me not use slang here. All right. But you know how to contact me. You know how to contact me, probably can connect you. Right. Um, yes, we do have a program for singles called the Ring For Me, but I haven't released it. DM me and I'll let you know when we're releasing it. It is hands down one of the best programs for how to be happily single, and then we're straight intentional about you connecting and dating someone quality. Yes. So I see my brother Dr. Mark's on. I appreciate you, brother. Let me get a loan. Let me get a loan, y'all. That's my Morehouse brother and my University of Michigan brother, Dr. Bryant Marks, doing big things, y'all. So I'm excited about it. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let me pray. Lord God, we just thank you, Lord, for everyone that you brought to this live. Lord, we thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be able to share my faith today to talk about the benefits of exercise and boosting your mental health, how it actually works, how it makes you more motivated, how it improves your memory, how it preserves your cognitive function, and how it relieves your pain. Lord God, we just ask and pray that you allow more people to get active with their exercise. Lord, we know that getting people to exercise is a natural motivation booster. People say they don't have motivation. No, you don't work out to get the dopamine to get motivation, Lord. So we ask and pray that you allow them to get moving, to get active, so that they can have active brains that produce a more active lifestyle that produces more happiness, joy, and better relationships. These things we ask in Jesus' holy name. Amen. All right. Take care. God bless. And I'll see y'all every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I see you. The house and AUC4. Yes. And my wife went to Clark, Atlanta, and my mama. So anyway, I'm trying to get my daughter go to Howard, y'all. But man, if y'all can get y'all housing right, Howard, it would help me in the arguments with her. Right? Because when we went to UCLA, the housing was on point. When we went to Stanford, I was like, these doors look better than my house. Lord, and it costs a lot. Anyway, I love y'all. Take care and God bless.